Hey everyone, it is Dante here, and I bet you probably have seen this video a long time ago. Well, today I am finally teaching you guys how to make them. I have with me some touchscreen gloves, which are optional technically, but I like to use them because I like to record a lot and I like to be able to touch my phone if I need to. I got them pretty easily just from Walmart, so they're very not hard to find. Here are the things that you are going to need today. So, you are going to need some gloves. I use touchscreen, but it doesn't matter what you use. You're going to need some hot glue sticks, hot glue gun, EVA foam, which you can find from Hobby Lobby or something. Fabric is optional. And a few pairs of scissors. Definitely get a wide variety because you're going to need it. You're going to need something to put under it because this hot glue gun, well, it's hot. And it's probably going to burn whatever you have underneath it, so definitely would recommend putting something underneath it first. Go ahead and get your gloves out, prep them in and stuff. Go ahead and start wearing your glove to get a feel of it, make sure it fits. Now, as you can see, mine is touchscreen, which is very nice. It's very good for recording videos, or if you go to cons, then quick access to your phone. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is grab your giant block of EVA foam and cut a giant square so that it's way easier to cut into. I have these really nice scissors that are good for cutting big things. They're not needed, but they're really recommended. You can get them from almost any craft store or Walmart. The foam I'm cutting today is about this thick, so it's going to be hard to cut into with normal scissors. So what you're going to need to do is position your hand how you normally would when you're doing quads and lay it on top of the EVA foam. So I recommend getting some white chalk when you have black EVA foam, as it's way easier to actually pattern your stuff with. Again, it is optional, but it is very, very useful whenever you have something like this. Plus, it comes off like almost immediately whenever you are doing stuff if you're messed up or something. Here is my white chalk. So, it's really easy to use. You can just put it on there, just right, and then it's so easy to wipe off if you mess up on something. As you can see, it shows up really well on the black EVA foam, which is exactly what we want. It's also really good for black fur when you're patterning that, so that whenever you wash it, it doesn't bleed through with some kind of marker, or it's good when it's colored and you can use it on not black fur. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a piece of paper and then put on your desired glove. Go ahead and mark where you like to have your position at when you are doing quads. And make sure to keep in mind where your palm is, as that's the part that needs to be protected the most, as it hurts the most when you are jumping on it or landing on it. Now you go ahead and grab a Sharpie or some kind of marker, doesn't matter what, lay your hand out and trace exactly how everything looks on the paper. And make absolute sure that your palm is being accounted for here and you have it at full coverage. Now you also need to trace out where your knuckles are so that you know where your fingers end. It's very important. So now you can pretty much just make sure the paw's pretty. Make sure it has the shape that you want and everything looks nice. And do keep in mind that you're going to also fold this in half, so really just pay attention to mostly one side. It's going to be symmetrical. And pretty much just make sure that the paw pad looks like a paw pad. But you can cut it down shorter as long as it's covering your palm as much as possible. And now you cut it out, keeping in mind that you are going to fold this in half and it's not all going to look exactly the same. So now you go ahead and fold it and make sure that everything looks like it's aligned nice and neatly. This pretty much just helps make this look a lot more neat, nice and neat, and it's easier to do. Just saves a lot of cutting as well. I suggest to separate both the paw pad and the fingers before you start cutting them individually, as it really helps to make sure that everything is nice and neat. Now, I also would say that you can cut just a little bit off of the paw pad, just a little bit. You're gonna know how to cut it. I'll warn you, it's gonna look a little bit funny whenever you open it up, so you can cut it a little bit more. Oh, maybe like, just to make it look a little bit more like a paw pad, as long as you kind of keep in mind, you know, to cover your palm as much as you can. Now you go ahead and cut the paw pad fingers. And as you can see, I don't really cut them individually yet. I kind of do that. And then I usually just kind of disregard 1/2. You don't need it. You just need 1/2. You just need to flip it both ways. Now you just kind of double it. It's pretty simple. And you go ahead and trace out the general shape, keeping in mind that you do not want to make it individually yet. And after you're done with that, you go ahead and do the same thing with your paw pad. I would suggest to do it all at once. Ignore how I'm not doing that. I would recommend doing it that way. It's a lot easier. Make sure that it all looks good whenever you do that. Alright, now that I have both traced out, you're going to go ahead and cut them out into a block. Don't cut them out individually yet. It is a lot easier this way, trust me. This stuff is really tough, so this is definitely where your big heavy-duty scissors come in handy. It's really hard to do. I mean, look at that. It is extremely thick. That is like 1/2 an inch. No, that's like at least probably an inch thick. It's as big as my finger, almost. Trust me when I say that normal scissors are going to be very hard to use with this stuff. So I suggest to cut them out into blocks before you cut them out individually, as it really helps and it's really not time consuming as much as the other one is. It's really hard, especially with how thick this stuff is. But yeah, now you're gonna go ahead and cut out the other one. Now this is probably not going to happen if you have a pretty good chalk, but just keep in mind that you may accidentally mark off some of the chalk that you have, so be careful with that. You may not realize it, but if you touch it enough, it may completely come off and then there goes your pattern. Now that we have both parts cut out, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the paper, and we're going to separate both the paw pad, palm, and the fingers from this stuff. Now that both is organized, you're going to go ahead and just kind of make sure everything is nice and organized and you do not accidentally misplace which paw pad goes where, because it's going to be hard to find out unless you pattern them a certain way, like say 1, 2, 3. I would suggest that. I didn't do it. I didn't think of it until I started recording the video. Now we have the fabric stage. This part is completely optional. If you already have a color that you like on the paw pads, then you do not need to do this. This is just to make it look more shiny and honestly just for looks. If anything, it kind of makes it harder to actually move around, but that's where the last step comes in handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay out the fabric all flat, and then we are going to place each individual stuff onto the thing with hot glue and make sure to separate it as much as possible, because you're going to need as much room as possible, especially if your fabric isn't stretchy, because mine is, so I got lucky with that. But if your fabric is not stretchy, then I recommend to make as much room as possible, because you're going to need to give as much room, and it's going to need to be some kind of stretched out if you don't do that. You do this part on the backing, not on the pretty part, because you're going to want that, obviously, to be shown. So I also would recommend to organize it on there. Make sure that it is not misplaced if you hadn't patterned yours yet. Also, another thing that I would like to mention is that hot glue is really hot. So I would suggest, if you are under the age of like 13 or maybe 12, that you either get a parent's permission or you get a parent's actual like supervision, because this part could burn you. It is very likely. I've done it several times. It is very, very likely, and it's dangerous for anyone that is definitely a child or is not in the hands or responsible for this kind of stuff. So, now you're going to go ahead and make sure to separate them as much as possible. Because like I said, this stuff needs to stretch, especially if your fabric isn't stretchy, because you are going to need to stretch it over all sides of it, including some of the back. Now, as you cut, you're going to keep in mind that same thing is to keep as much room as possible. So, I would suggest doing only one cut and do it as much room as possible. I guess. I suggest you get some pretty good scissors for these, maybe some specific fabric scissors. I was stupid and didn't do that. I have scissors right next to me, by the way, that are so much easier to use, but I didn't. Now, as you can see, you go ahead and stretch it over, because you are going to need to cover the entire backing. And normally I would also shape the paw pads a little bit more, but I didn't do that because I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I'm stupid, and I kind of kept switching between scissors and scissors and scissors, not realizing that I have one right next to me that is so much easier to use. But hey, you are going to go ahead and slit just as much as you can on the fabric around the paw pad. It really helps, especially if your fabric isn't stretchy, so that you can make sure that it stretches as much as possible around the paw. And you're going to glue it like that. I start with the edges, and then I eventually go up onto the actual paw. I do this in small portions. Don't do this all at once. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you are sure that you want to do it that way, then go ahead. But I didn't do that because I wanted to make sure that I got it all. Now that it's all glued, it's okay if a few parts are showing. Normally what I do is I kind of just pull the glove up above that part so it's not really visible. I recommend doing it anyway because it does make it look a lot better. But regardless, it doesn't really matter. Now you cut off the excess, and make sure to do this after everything is dried, or else you might accidentally pull up some of the fabric, which is not good, because it is going to be really hard to actually re-glue that. As you can see, I did that because I was impatient. But, a warning's a warning. Now I'll mention this again. This is all very optional. If you don't want to go through this hell, I'll be honest, is what it is, then you don't have to. It's honestly completely optional. It is just to make it look pretty, especially if you don't have the desired color you wanted. Now hold on, don't just glue it on. Put on the glove, okay? Listen, put on the glove. Then you're gonna get your chalk, you're gonna put it exactly where you want it, okay? And then you're going to trace it with your chalk, okay? Listen, I know this seems really weird and probably unnecessary, but trust me, ignore that I'm doing this off screen. It is very, very useful because I will probably, most likely, almost every time, never glue it the right way. Because I don't do this, because it's time consuming and it's annoying, but it's useful. So do it. Trust me, do it. Now my chalk wasn't all that very visible, but it helped to at least tell me probably where I should have it and where I shouldn't have it. You can kind of see a faint area over there. It's fine. I'm doing good. It's fine. Okay, now keeping in mind of not accidentally gluing your glove to the other side of the glove, you're going to glue very lightly onto it. Reposition it as much as you can before the glue dries, because it will probably dry really fast. Like I said, don't put it on, but make sure that it does not go to the other side. I bet I know what you're thinking. You're going to glue the paw pads on the fingers on the inside. No, you're not. No, you're going to glue them on the other side. On your other side of your fingers, because that's where you land on, obviously. So why would you do it on the other side? Because it won't work that way. Duh. Sorry, I didn't mean to start, insulting you. I would suggest to put on the glove to make sure that it looks right and, get a visual, actual look of what it would look like. Again, I didn't do this. I didn't feel like it, but normally what you do is you take the thing before you felt it and stuff, and you shape it. But I didn't do that. But instead, what you could do is you can pull the glove up, and glue it onto the sides. That also works. But hey, look, it's so much more comfortable. You can jump, you can land, you can do anything. In this, I guess I was talking about this horse thing that I got from Walgreens. It was $5, and I wanted to turn it into something, and anyways, that aside, River, why do you do this to yourself? Anyways, and now you do this with the fingers. You cut them out. I would suggest to do this all at once, but I didn't do that because at this point, are we even surprised? So, now you cut it. You cut the thing. Yes, do that. Do that thing. Do it. Make sure to leave a measuring possible. And now that you have what looks like a weird baloney mistake, you just cut it. Now, when it's something this small, you technically don't really have to cut the sides because it already is just really tiny and you could just stretch the fabric, even if it's not a very stretchy fabric. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I'm just saying that if you're lazy like me, then you don't have to do it. It's okay. You've been watching for a while. You know, that subscribe button, it's looking like it really wants you to press it. I'm just saying that's not what I said, okay? The subscriber button told me that, okay? The notifier bell is its best friend, okay? And it's saying that you should also give it attention because it's also really... Okay, I'm so sorry for the shameless advertising. I hope you laughed. Please laugh. I'm not funny, am I? Anyways, now you use the same thing you did with a paw, and you cut the excess off. Wow. Ignore how ugly it looks. I, again, am bad at this. Wow. Now, when you glue this, you keep in mind, you are not gluing it on the inside of the finger, because that, my friends, is going to make it impossible for you to do quads. Maybe not impossible, but it's going to be very uncomfortable, and you're going to wish that you never made these, and that you never watched this video. But that's just, you just do it like this. Now, I think this goes here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, you kind of just glue the glove onto the very top edge of the paw pad. Now, the reason I do this is that it kind of makes it look a lot like it's an actual paw, plus it saves you from having to do a lot of tricky work with the pretty part, but it also just looks like a really realistic. Now, with camera magic, I will do this all off camera. Wow, magic! It totally didn't happen because I was lazy and didn't run and record it. Now it's time for you to put them on the glove. I'm gonna warn you right now, you're gonna hate every process, every part of this process. It sucks, I hate it, you should hate it too. It's annoying. Now, as I said earlier, you're going to pull the part above the paw pad before you do anything else. This kind of gives you a starting point also, so that you know where to start, where to go afterwards, and where, you know, your knuckles end, so you don't accidentally put it too far or too wide or something that or something this, things that make sense, blah blah blah. I know what I'm talking about. I, in this, entirely had no intention of putting claws on this. I honestly forgot about it until now, and I also just didn't want to do it, but honestly, I think I'm gonna do it anyway. I know that you guys probably mostly wanted to see the process of these gloves because of that, so I guess I'll be nice and I'll tell you how to do it. Anyways, now you pretty much softly glue, while you do not have this on your hand, probably. I mean, if you want to, that's fine, but it does kind of hurt. You glue it softly onto the paw pad. Softly. So that you don't over-glue it and accidentally, glue your fingers together. Oh, at least your paw fingers, glove fingers, whatever you want to call it. And then you do the same thing you did with the very top, but you do the others first. I recommend doing that. It's a lot easier. Doing everything at once is usually a lot easier. I don't do it a lot because I forget about it, and I'm a little silly. I'm a little silly goose. But yeah. I'm gonna be honest, whenever I do this, it kind of looks like a sardine can. I'm just now realizing it, and it looks kind of funny, and now I can't unsee it. Now, to avoid serious burns, and probably also avoid me getting in trouble with parents, you are going to take the glove off, and then do it. Now, I recommend getting something small, like a pencil or a stick of some kind. I just had something lying around from something that I liked to use a lot, so I used that. You're gonna stick it inside the glove after gluing it down a little bit. Like I said, lightly glue, because you do not want the glove to stick together, because that would suck and that would ruin your entire glove, and that'd be almost impossible to get rid of. So, you're going to go ahead and stretch over almost all parts. Honestly, it also helps if you just move it like that. If you move it like that, it won't stay, the top part won't stay enough for it to glue down with it. I'll be honest, from doing this, you may lose a bit of movement, maybe a little bit of mobility. You're gonna have a lot of room. So if you don't want to do this part, you don't really have to. It's just to make it look a lot prettier and more realistic. I don't have a preference personally, but if you prefer to be able to move as much as possible and have as much movement, then I would suggest to not do this part and just kind of softly glue it on and just make sure that your fabric looks nice enough for you to not be bothered by it. Prepare yourself. This looks amazing. After you're done, your paw pad individually will look like this. That looks like an actual paw pad finger. Like a paw finger. That looks real. I'm gonna be honest, if you really want to, you could probably make your own glove with fabric or fur. Fur would probably look the best, but if there was some other stretchy fabric you could find, I would recommend it. Honestly, if you do that, I would love to see it. I would love to see what you guys come up with if you make your own. Pretty much all you would do is just trace your hand twice, leaving some room for sewing, and just kind of sew it together. I would love to see it if you guys made that. Please, if you do, at me or something, go to my TikTok and, just send me pictures and stuff. That would be awesome. Because I'll be posting this on TikTok as well. Not in a full part, in just, bits and pieces so that, they come over to my YouTube, obviously, and watch this in person. But, as you can see, I tried doing it a few times, and I didn't like how it ended up looking, so I ended up just buying some gloves. But I promise I tried, guys. I tried doing it. I don't like doing it that much, honestly. It's not my favorite. It's not my cup of tea. But I can probably try updating the pattern a little bit, so maybe I can try. But here's my first attempt to make it. And these are my gloves for a while, honestly, but they kind of didn't turn out very well after a while. They kind of didn't last very long. I mean, I did the same thing with these gloves as I did, the paw pads. I used the same pattern, I used the same fabric, and they had, the stretchy stuff that made it to where I could be able to put it on easy and not easy, and I had, a duvet cloth and everything. It looked really nice at first, and then the paint faded, and the fur got matted, and it just didn't really suit me anymore, so I kind of stopped using them. But I will probably try to remake them. Guys, if you bully me in the comments about it, you'll be like, hey, make new ones, and I'll be like, fine, I guess I will. and then I'll probably make a tutorial on that as well, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just start selling them. I don't really know. But if you want me to try and make other animals like that aren't like mammals and don't have paw pads, please let me know. I also have commissions open, and you can see my Ko-Fi right there. My link will be in my bio, hopefully, probably. I make pretty much unique species all the time. I can make pretty much anything. I made a seal, I've made bisons, I've made a bear, I've made lions and stuff, and honestly, I really enjoy doing it. But now we go back to the actual tutorial. Have I said how much I hate doing voice recordings? They're so annoying. Anyways, so I have these little stick thingies that I have for my boyfriend's wings that I'm making him, because he's a wyvern weatherkin, and I'm just gonna kind of put it in there, you know, and make sure it doesn't stick to itself. This helps to where you can reach to pretty much anywhere and not stick to the glove. Time to glue. Glue, 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 glue. I'm sorry. I don't know why I do this to myself. Do some rolling. Rolling, 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 rolling. Don't copyright me, please. You can also glue some to the sides and roll it over to the sides a little bit if you have some parts showing that you don't want showing. I would say that it helps, but again, it will take away a lot of movement, and, you know, you're gonna not be able to have a lot of room afterwards, but hey, whatever you want. I mean, if you want to look pretty, then make it look pretty, and, you know. And now we have 2 done. Let's go on to the other 2. I don't know why I did like 5 seconds of whatever this is, but whatever. So I had this fabric specifically because it looks so much like an actual paw pad texture, color, whatever. However, don't get too attached to the actual texture and color of it, because you're gonna put hot glue on top of it so that you can keep your traction. Because believe it or not, putting this kind of fabric on the paw pad is gonna make it to where you will slip if you try to land on it without traction. So, see, that's what it looks like when you don't have traction. It's gonna be like, you know, you had those like sticky socks that you get from the hospital for no apparent reason that I know about that. Yeah, that's kind of what it's like, except it's hot glue. It's really easy to do. Glue, 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 more gluing, 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 glue, 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 glue. Say that 10 times fast. Oh my god. Glue, 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 glue. Oh my god. Why? River, why? Why are you showing them your horse again? Please, stop it. Please, no! River, stop! This is a tutorial! We're not- Stop showing off your horse! Why do I do this to myself? Why do I stop? Why am I still talking about the horse? How long does this go on for? Please, you've like taken 2 minutes of our time talking about a horse. Okay, thank you, River, for putting that away. Oh my god. Sorry, River needs to take their meds. Glue, glue, glue. Glue, 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 glue. Glue, 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 glue. You know, normally people, whenever they're doing these little time lapses, they'll like not talk and they'll put some music in. But no, I'm gonna have you guys listen to me saying glue the entire time, because guess what? I'm gonna torture you. Yep. Glue, 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 glue. Whoa, look at him. It looks so nice. Wow, it's like a paw pads. Wow, it's like actual paws. I'm so tired of this. Please save my soul. So, fun fact, if you don't like the way that you feel in this, like if you feel trapped and you don't have any like, you know, screen protector or screen thingies and you want to grab stuff, you can actually cut slits into the bottom of your finger thingies, finger gloves, And if you can make it look neat, you can probably put some hot glue over it and stuff, and it'll make it to where you can just kind of like take your fingers out and you can grab stuff and you can touch things and you can just put them right back out, put it back in whenever you're done with it. But I prefer to have the touchscreen gloves because it's just a whole lot easier. You know it's coming. You know what I'm gonna do. Glue, 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 glue. I'm gluing, I'm doing the glue, I'm gluing the thing down to the glue, and with the glue, I'm doing glue. I'm so sorry. I feel like I've chased away, like, at least 80% of my viewers, which is probably not much, but, I mean... Hey, look at them, look at them, they look so fancy. Wow, oh my goodness. Okay, now you know what time it is. It's time to put the glue on the power pad so you can have your traction and not slip and fall and break your wrists and probably sue me for not saying this sooner. But, yeah, so pretty much you can just honestly do whatever you need to do. You can just put little dots on it if you really want to, or if you want, you can do something else. Like, you can just kind of, like, put glue on it and then spread it around with the glue knob. And it's pretty simple. I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. You can try to put some on the sides. That way, you know, it's not very visible. But I don't really care, personally. I just want to not die or fall or break something. Listen, hospital bills are expensive in America. But I decided that I was going to glue my pop pads together because it was a lot easier, and they kept moving around and I didn't like it. And it turned out fine anyway, so if you don't want to do that, that's fine, but I did it. I'll tell you right now that it works. It looks good. Now, it's time for the claws. Now get your little block of EVA foam. Trace out the desired claw shape, and you're going to do this a lot, okay? So just keep that in mind. You're going to be making a lot of these, at least 8, unless you mess one up. So now you just kind of trace it. I normally like to trace them as close as possible so that I can just, do the things that I normally would with my other EVA foams, and I would just, cut them into a big block and then cut them out afterwards. It's a whole lot easier. Trust me. Do it. Sorry. Okay, now go ahead and just cut your little block out. You see that? Yep. See how easy that is? Just cut it out. Cut it out. This is why the big scissors are very useful. Look at how easy they chop through that. It's a very thick foam, so yeah. Cut, 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 cut. Anyways. Now you go ahead and cut them into little pieces, cut them out, okay? Do keep in mind that you're going to end up cutting these to be a lot shorter, probably, unless you like long claws. But, I like to have mine shorter because otherwise they feel weird when I'm, like, running or walking or doing anything with them, because they kind of, the way that I place them on there, they kind of get really close to the edge and, to the floor whenever I'm walking. So, I mean, if you want to keep them long, you keep them long. I don't care. Honestly, they probably look sick like that, and I'd love to see your long claw quad paws. So if you do make them, please show me. I need to see them. At me, dude, anything. I don't care. I need to see them. Go to my TikTok, DM me, freaking send me images on my comments. I'm going to be posting some of this on my TikTok, so images. I need to see them quad paws when you are done with them, okay? Listen, they are going to look awesome. Okay, so now you kind of just shave them. You see that? I shaved them into, like, looking up way more 3D, and it looks really cool. Keep in mind, you're going to make them shorter, okay? You're probably going to make them shorter, so don't be too upset, okay? Keep them long at first, and then cut them short when you glue them on so you know how big they need to be. Now, get out your area and put on your paws. Now, this is a big dangerous thing that you could do. You don't have to do it with your hand in them, okay? I'm going to show you later how I do it without having that. But for now, this is what it looks like. I'm just kind of gluing them to the very top of the paw pad, as you can see, and it's looking a lot like a claw because claws are not at the knuckles. They are at the bottom of the paw pad. I mean, if you want to have them at the knuckles, you can have them at the knuckles. I don't really care. I want to have them on the paw pads because, one, they're easier to glue on there. It already has, like, a spot to put it, and it just looks better for me. So now you can see that I have it off, okay? I don't have the paw on. You do not have to do that. You do not have to put the paw on while you are gluing. See, look at how good that is. Oh my god, look at how cute. Ah! So, as you can see here, I am cutting it shorter because I'm realizing that I made them way too long for my own sake. And here you can see me shaving down the little claws. They're so cute. They're so cute. So a more realistic paw is going to look like that whenever they have their claws in. That's what I was trying to go for. I'm trying to go for more of a realistic look. And I think I achieved it with my quad paws that I had made just now. Look at that. Wow. It looks like a paw, like an actual paw. It has like the little dips and everything. I mean, look at that. Look at that. They look really good together, and I'm really proud of how they look. Like, oh my goodness, look at how good that is. Do you understand how long these took to make? I put one of the gloves off for a while, I'm gonna be honest. But I'm so proud of this, and it was so worth it. Here it is. Look at how cute. Oh my god. Oh yeah, if you guys didn't know until now, that's my mask, and I am a Tygontherian. Welcome to my channel. This is probably one of my first videos you've ever watched. If you don't know my TikTok, then welcome. I'm probably gonna be doing more tutorials whenever I get a chance to. No promises though. Yeah. Any questions you have, let me know in the comments, and bye!